Yeah, fucking.
Yeah, crush it.
Yeah.
Woo! That's a good beer, cunt. That's a sick beer, cunt.
Yeah, word of mouth,
What a
man.
sick beer. No, she's drinking sick beer because he's a sick cunt.
It's true.
What it does, what is poppin', everybody? My name is fucking Fire Smoke C Feezy.
Oh, my name is Indo Smoke Nosh Dog. How
I
you
like
going?
that. And welcome to episode 128 of Bad Habits of Podcast without Dan.
Yeah,
Fuck Dan. No, I'm joking. Love you, Dan.
we are Dahn-less. We're Dahn-less today, and it's a damn shame.
We are
It
Dan-less
is a
today.
Dan shame.
Ooh.
Oh, you like that one?
I'm going to write that down.
So,
I'm going to write that down.
yeah,
It's
Dan-less.
a Dan shame. And I'll put Dan-less.
Dahn-less, semicolon?
It's a
What was
damn
that?
shame. I like
Yeah.
it. I'm just going to write them both down. And so we have all the beautiful ideas for later. I love it. Dan, did he warn us? Did he talk about it on air or off air last week? I can't remember.
Don't recall, but there was a mention.
So Dan has, he's had 3 weeks with his mother-in-law come to visit, and then immediate crossover with no break. Actually, the mother-in-law was still there whilst his homie came out. Pause, and he's got full swap. Didn't even get to clean the house in time, but he's got 3 friends in town. I think, right? I think one of them is staying. I can't remember what it is. I think one's actually staying with him, and the others are staying with other friends or something like that. So yeah, he's sort of
Schmozzle at Daniel's house.
yeah, exactly. So we're like, you know what? We could either take 2 weeks off, but we're like, you know what? Let's just do the pod anyway. We're on a really good momentum. I don't want to break it if we can avoid it. And, I always look forward to this every week. I'm sure we all do. So
Yeah, dude.
we'll hold it down for Daniel.
By the way, is my microphone louder than normal? Because remember, I had the volume for both of us.
Oh, yeah. It sounds... The actual audio sounds great. Maybe you could put it back to... Because I didn't do a test to see what this is going to sound like.
Where it was. Anyway, sorry.
That's okay. Hey, guys, it's a constant
On the
lesson.
fly technical resolutions. Here we go.
There you go.
We're back in business.
It's how the fuck
Hopefully that
we
was
get
better,
down.
so
No,
we'll
you sound good. Everything sounds good to me on these
Buttery.
Hades radio.
Buttery.
Nose Dog. So,
Yes.
how was your week? What's happening? I know you've had an eventful week, positive and negative. We want to start with the bad news, and we can get straight into the good stuff.
I like doing that first, and you always end on a positive. So
Always.
as I usually do on my days off, I like to gallivant around in the forest and go for a ride. On Tuesday last week, I chose against going to the forest and doing my usual single track dirt trails. Because one of my Aussie friends was in town because there's an Australian artist, Rule, who's touring North America. He's basically Australia's Justin Bieber, and he's doing the videography for Rule and all that. So he's in town. They're at the Danforth Music Hall. I was like, bet I'll come and see you. And I'm like, okay, I need to get some exercise because I was working all morning. So I got out on the bike, and instead of going to the dirt path, I went on the bike concrete path and cruised around. So I did the Taylor Creek Park and the Lower Don path. I was on Bayview, and then in the bike lane, there's this dude on an e-bike / motorbike, but it's not a real motorbike. You know what I mean?
I know exactly the type. Yep.
It's the kind of vehicle that somebody that gets their license taken away for drunk driving gets when they can't get a car anymore because
One of those
such
cunts.
a drunken fuckhead.
Mm-hmm.
And so this cunt on that thing, it was kind of a little bit wider set than usual. It had like big mirrors on the side. Shouldn't have been on the bike path, bro. Basically,
Gotcha.
The
That
cunt's
was my next
swerving.
question. Yeah.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been on the bike path. And there's like a little concrete pylon to separate the traffic from the
Yes.
thing. So it's kind of like tucked in a bit. It's all right. So the bike path itself is cool if you're not being a dickhead. But this cunt was swerving, going all over the joint. And there was somebody up front that I saw that kind of was like, had to jump out of the way, like narrow miss kind of thing. I'm like, oh, here we go, some fucking dickhead. So I slowed down a little bit, and then he kind of started playing chicken with me. So I ended up just swapping lanes and just trying to get out of his way. I just didn't want to borrow it. I'm fucking just not in the mood. I wanted a casual road ride. So I ended up doing the fucking chicken, and we obviously got the wrong way. My right handlebar got hit, and it flung me off to the left a little bit. To the right, and then I corrected it, took me to the left. I hit my left shoulder on this thing on the side of the road, which is super solid. I thought it was going to be, and it's something that's like a boom arm that comes across the road to stop traffic when they do road rides and shit for whatever the fuck when they close the road off. So for me to get out of his way, I had this little thing to go through, and my shoulder just hit that, and it was just like really quick. It took 2 seconds to do all this, and it was so fucked, and I had no time to really get away. And then so I ended up going after I hit my shoulder, it threw me over the bars, and I landed on my elbow. My handlebars smashed me on the fucking thing. My right knee got all mashed up. The bruising is insane. I haven't been able to walk for like the last 5 days. I've had constant throbbing.
Jesus.
Yeah, so it was a really big, sudden skid impact on concrete, bare skin. And
Fuck,
you know,
man.
I was on my big bike. I was on my big, yeah, it's a big impact. Man. I was on my big bike. I scratched the shit out of the brake levers and all the good bits. So shouldn't have used the good bike on the road. Not doing it ever again. I've seen people like that, you know, ride in the bike lane at 40 k's an hour, and they zoom right past you and shit. They just cut you off, and it's like, why are you going back into the bike lane? You're going as fast as a car, bro. Like, it doesn't make sense. So, yeah, I haven't had a close call like that before, and it was just a cunt move because he drove off, just like the taxi that hit me in 2019. So fuck Beck Taxi, fuck drunken assholes on those stupid e-bikes, and that cunt can eat a dick. But I think Karma's already got him because he's like a 60-year-old sad cunt drinking Coors Light. He actually had a can of beer in his coffee holder on his dashboard on his bike. I could see it.
Oh, okay. So he obviously was drunk.
Windscreen. I absolutely.
It had a windscreen.
Yeah. It had like a little visor at the front.
I know the ones.
Like a tiny one, and I could just see it. I could just see it in the coffee holder.
Oh gosh.
Because my handlebars touched his revision mirror light.
So you were close.
I was right next to him.
Yeah. Jeez, man.
So that happened, and then I've been recovering ever since, and I've just been working on, which is a good segue. I've been working on the YouTube channels and got a few more episodes uploaded and got my realigned the strategy. So I got a new schedule for releasing episodes. Because of all my data's like, it's giving me more every month. I'm getting more accurate data and just more of it. So it's great.
And you hit 500 subs?
Hit 500 subs. So.
Congrats. That's great, man. You know, it's a big achievement, eh?
It feels awesome, but I don't really care at the moment because I got the bigger goal,
your bigger
focus.
goal.
But it feels really awesome that it's happening because I don't know. You've told me it's a big achievement. I don't really get it yet, but at the same time, I'm grateful as fuck for everything so far. It's been so fun. It's helped me get.
It's so fast. You're moving so fast.
It's crazy, man. Just past 320,000 views for the whole channel today, and
so crazy.
Yeah, getting more milestones every single week and every single month, and I've been taking photos on my phone the whole time, so it's been steadily going up, and then it gets spiky, and then it keeps going up, and it's nice. So yeah, the channel's been fun. But yeah, the schedule. So I've got 2 long form episodes. I've kind of at the moment ditched the urban episodes because even though I love doing it and it was a good fun, it just wasn't getting the results.
Okay, that's good. See, that's taking the real-time lessons.
Yeah, exactly right. So I have a couple up the sleeve for later on. There's a Toronto Island episode coming, which is sick. But 2 dirt episodes a week, Friday and Sunday at 2 p.m.
Okay, beautiful. Notion MTB on YouTube, guys. Yep. YouTube.com/NotionMTB, M for mountain.
If you type in at Notion MTB, it takes you straight to my page. If you type in Notion MTB, it brings you up in a search, and there's a bunch of mountain bike videos that are named Notion, so don't do that.
Gotcha. So yes, you go youtube.com/@NotionMTB. Yeah, it's like TikTok. They did a handle thing.
Yeah, because when I first started my account and got past a certain, whatever the first series of things that you get unlocked, that was part of it. That was
the first thing. It was 25 subs or something like that.
Make a custom name now. I'm like, sure.
Which is a good thing. Just makes it even easier. So there's like the handle, and then there's the URL, and they're not the same. They don't like TMF. We're not the same.
Handle
thing.
helps you search. That's all. That's all it's for. Just takes you straight there. No fucking
makes it easier, which is dope. So that's great. So that's moving nice.
Big bonus. I've been making a few more beats. I've uploaded a bunch to notionbeats.com. I'm trying to get some more production push now.
Beautiful.
And just finding old beats that I need to use or old beats I've got to finish so I can use. So I've uploaded some, honestly, beats from 2016. I found a beat from 2016, 2017, and they still slap. They're still good. I just mixed them, and they fucking sound awesome. I'm like, oh my God, I might, some of them I'm just like, how did I not put this fucking online? And I'm like checking, did I sell it 21? Did I give it 21? Like, what did I do? Like, nah. So I found some really good gems. So notionbeats.com. I'll let you boys. So
that's beautiful.
Yeah. So accident, mountain bike stuff, beats, and I made a real sick fire. I built a fire from scratch out of scrap wood and had a real nice night. I think it was like just down the street from my house, man. There's a fire pit in the park, and it's really grand, and it's so tucked away. It's so nice. I couldn't believe how big the fire pit was and how nice the park is. So yeah, I had a real impromptu fire with my mate, and honestly, it was sick because I haven't built a fire for yonks, cunt. And I felt like such a sick cunt, for, from remembering all the tricks from camping and doing army cadets back in the day. So
how'd you
built
start
a
it?
fire like a sick cunt. I had lighter, but like at the same time, like getting a fire together, right structure,
right kind of
coming through and keeping it burning good for a long time. It's an art form. Like ask any cunt. Like it's hard as fuck. You know how to light a fire. It's just hard, man.
It's been a while. Yeah.
It's hard to get it going good, and with literally nothing. I was finding sticks on the ground and like whatever I could find. There's whatever I could find. So I felt
it was like dry enough. Fucking look at you.
So
Dundee, man.
Yeah. I'm like no Bear Grylls, no grills.
No
grills. So, mate, that's pretty much my week.
Gangsta Grizzles. Yeah, I like
Gangsta Grizzles. Yeah, that's classic DJ tags, isn't it?
Fucking beautiful, mate. Oh, listen, that's actually an interesting segue. Should I go into that segue? Because that was another topic. Fuck, we'll talk about it later. Good. Okay, I don't think I've had anywhere near as an eventful week as you. I feel like my weeks have been kind of quiet lately. The doing a lot of BOS pods, so they're taking up a lot of my evenings.
Yeah.
And the weather hasn't been.
When you chat for 4 hours, mate, you love to go. You go for a long.
I go hard. We go hard.
Yapathon.
We're slowing down on a bit. I had basically only had one or two booked for a bit because we've done ahead. It was fine while we were doing it, but now it's coming into July, August. We're going to be busier and stuff, planning out some travel. So what happened this? I can't even think of anything. We got a bunch of herbs maybe in May, and these little planter things. So we planted them. We had them sitting around for maybe a couple of weeks and planted them up. These things are fucking exploding. It's crazy. We got like kale. Yeah, everything's like the kale is just taking over everything. The fucking what else we get? These little salad things. It's hard to kill kale. Did not know that. It's I guess it's just slaying. We got some like lemongrass, dill, parsley, cilantro, basil. Fucking jalapenos. The jalapenos are starting to grow. Red onions, and I think we had some. One of them died. We had cucumbers and peas, and before we even planted them, they were dying off. So I think we'll replace it with like, I don't know, tomatoes or some bullshit. But it's cool. It's really fun. It's really nice. So it's been cool.
Gardener C Feezy is that what we're going to call you now?
Fuck yeah, mate. Look, we're out here. Just you need a little
Farmer C.
Farmer C. That's a good name. Like Farmer C. Get it? I'll write that down. Even
like you can push that pharmacy,
Oh, you know the vibes.
It's got the tablets for that.
Maybe you know the fucking vibes, fam. So that was fun. What else happened? I really can't think of anything that happened. It's been such a quiet ass week. I was gonna say something. What the fuck was I gonna say? Did I go to Toronto last week? I think I might. Did I go?
That was the week before.
Yeah, maybe it was the week before because Tiff's mum got broken into, so we went and got her like a camera for inside the house, and we're trying to install the little like a latch for the door and stuff. That was the other. Oh, we went on Tuesday. We had a dinner in the city with our friend Bass, and it was his birthday, so we took him out.
Oh, nice.
We went to Verse. Yeah, shouts to him.
Oh, Verse.
We went
to.
I hadn't been there forever, and they had like Pilsner Raquel on tap. So I had that. That was really nice.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Enjoyed that a lot.
You know that Verse are doing the kitchen for Godspeed now, right?
I heard that. Yes. Have you been?
I have, but I didn't have the food. When I went there with Uncle Dave, we had.
Oh, yes.
They were there, and I was like, I was telling him about how good the Japanese menu is. And I looked over, and there's people around us are having fucking sausages and bratwurst and shit, and sauerkraut and shit. I'm like, what the
fries.
fuck? I'm like, that's the. And then on the menu it says it's just literally right there. I just didn't read it.
It was a relatively new thing that they changed. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame. Yeah, it looks good. Like the food, I got the duck fat fries. I hadn't had them in forever. They were great.
Oh fuck yeah.
Had that with a Pilsner Raquel. Fucking money, bro. That was great.
Yeah, that's good.
What else?
It's a shame that Godspeed has gone away from the Japanese cuisine.
There must be a reason. Yeah, it was so good.
Kitchen probably costs stacks to run, mate.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't moving as much. Maybe it was a little too niche, and it's easier to have like a separate business rather than worrying about the kitchen. But you have the in-house facilities that they can use, and then they just sell it in separate POS, something like that. Yeah, which is super cool. I was gonna say, oh yeah, the other fun little thing. I bought a basketball like when I lived in Montreal. Still, I never even pumped it up. Never used it. I think because I was just ordering shit off Adidas and I had like deals or something, so I was like, yeah, let's get a basketball. And I bought a pump like a couple weeks ago and pumped it up. Still haven't used it, but I saw the homie who I've mentioned here on the pod before, Ill Vibe. he was talking about, he lives like in St. Catharines, so it's like 45, 50 minutes from me anyway, but he was talking about like he meets up with dudes and plays basketball and he's got people up here. I was like, honestly, I would fucking love to, because he just posted a picture of like inside like a university basketball court, like an indoor court. It was nice. And he said, yeah, finally found one. Like he said he's shit. He goes, he's like only a couple years younger than, he's same age as you. Like he just turned, I don't want to put him on blast. Mans is old. And he's like, yeah, he goes, it's interesting trying to get, he goes, I remember the moves, but it's interesting getting your body to do the moves.
Yeah, muscle memory, sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. He's potentially playing this week. He said down there, so I might go this week.
I'll dunk on your ass, bro.
You would kill me. I bet I am so bad.
I probably wouldn't. I haven't played basketball for yonks, dude. Last time, remember how you brought the basketball back to me from Australia? I've used it for that whole summer.
Uh-huh.
The whole next summer, because there's a court up the street.
Mm-hmm. How'd you go?
I used... fine. I was worse from 3-point line, percentage-wise. Probably went down to like 40% instead of like 70% or something like that. I was fairly good shooter. And then just getting the actual, I think it was, I wasn't, the timing of the jump, just, getting all that memory back is just crazy. Like, but all you got to do is stand there and shoot for about 30 minutes or less, and you'll remember fucking almost everything. And then if you play with other cunts and you just talk shit, eventually you figure it out again. I think
that's what I was thinking. Yeah. And just like he said, I know that he's not good. He's got a ring at home, he said, but, he wants, I guess it's not like completes his driveway or something, so it wouldn't be completely flat.
Just for free throws and
just
whatever,
fucking around.
Shooting around, yeah.
So he said it was different being on a completely flat thing and trying to do it. So I hope the other cats that he's got involved, right? Yeah, completely flat. It's like, what a luxury. Like, oh, wow. Yeah. You don't really think about it. It kind of is, right? Because I thought about getting a ring for here. They had these ones at Costco for $500, and they were like Spalding rings, like our old Huffy one. Same thing. Huffy, yeah, same shit. So I was like, maybe I could, but I wouldn't want it out the back because what if the ball goes over the fence? There's nowhere to really put it. And I could put it at the front, but it makes the house look a little bit ugly. I don't want a big basketball ring out the front and shit. So I was like, I've kind of avoided, but I just wanted, because your biking is super. I've said this to you a bunch of times, but I think it's dope that you have a form of exercise that is a activity that you enjoy doing. Yes. And I don't really have anything like that, except you and me played basketball since we were kids because Dad always played, and we played in leagues since we were. I think I was 8, you were 6, 5, whatever it was.
Yeah, 6.
Something like that.
Actually, 5, 6.
We were playing since we were like little cunts, and that's kind of how we discovered hip hop and shit, was through basketball, which I guess we talked about on episode 1 when people go back to that. But it's been like, I don't know. I just thought, this is a good opportunity. There's someone I know who's my age, who's probably better than, I bet he's better than me, but, nobody's equally, similar skill set and just passion for it and just want to keep your body moving. I was like, we try and walk all the time, with the dog. We did big walk today. Yeah, exactly, man. And just try and do some shit like that. Like, we've been eating better because Tiff is obsessed with nutrition. Right. So she's watching YouTube videos, podcasts, whatever, all the time about this stuff. She knows more than most of these. Like, the doctors don't know shit about nutrition. Like, it's hilarious how much, like, medical doctors don't know anything.
Dude, the amount of shit that I've discovered and learned in the last probably 2 years of watching doctors on YouTube, and after having my experience in October with bad medicine, diagnosed and all that sort of shit, like... Mm-hmm. They don't know anything, bro.
Yeah, like, it's crazy.
To be a pharmacist is just like, it's all you have to do is remember a couple of things on a test, know how to write a form out, and how to start a business. The rest of it's fucking fuckery.
It's totally any sort of medical person are mostly pharmaceutical salespeople. Really, that's my experience with medical. Same. I think a lot of people. I'm very, very jaded, and we even were working with a functional doctor. I think I might have talked about it here, but Tiff knew more about the stuff than she did from what it seemed like. She was putting me on these diets, and then I'd meet up with her in a month, and then she'd go, oh, cool, how'd you go? I'm like, yeah, I feel the same. And she'd go, okay, let's try this. Like, where's the quantitative analysis? Yeah. Wouldn't you be like, okay, for energy, this is how we're going to check. Wouldn't you do like a blood test before you start, and then a blood test at the end, then we compare the results? Or so? Tiff said that, because what are you doing?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and I was like, you're fucking right. Like, what's the point? So basically, I put it off completely to work with this lady, and Tiff just controls that. We're just eating a lot of whole food, like we have like a protein, a big ass fucking salad, and maybe some like potatoes or some brown rice or something like that. So you're like, having these balanced meals that don't have nothing's fried or whatever, air fryer at most, so minimizing the oils and like
Same.
taking good supplements, just being a smart cunt. I don't know. I'm feeling like I started taking more this shit called psyllium husk. It's the stuff that's in my what's the thing that old people take to make your poos good? So that's what M.
Oh,
It's orange flavored.
Metamucil.
Yeah, Metamucil. So it's the shit in that. So basically, like, I've been trying to like take that to get the. I know it's old people shit, but even if you're 25 and listening, like, don't fuck around. Eat your fiber.
Get up on your health game, bro. The sooner the better. That's what we should say to 25-year-olds. Because like I think I started getting on the health thing from 30. Because on my 30th birthday, I quit smoking cigarettes, quit eating McDonald's, quit drinking cow's milk, and quit eating red meat. And then I came back on the red meat after probably like 2 years actually, when I found out like proper farms to get good.
Yeah, that's the
good
difference.
beef from. Yeah, because I was eating shit beef. So
a few and far between. Maybe don't eat it all the time, but when you do, just make sure it's good. And
100%, man. And then
everything.
So since then, it's been a huge focus. Like I've been on my smoothie game for the last like I think maybe like 5 or 6 years, and I haven't even missed a day. And the smoothie's gotten better and I have eight things in my smoothie now. Like it's out of control. So, yeah, that kind of shit just makes you feel good no matter what. I haven't been sick other than getting the strep throat and that operation, which was like a completely
that was a big strange fluke
ass thing. Yeah. So other than that, I've been sick for fucking like honestly like 10 years. I've only
That's
had
dope, man. Good for you.
down days for a couple of days,
and then you're just back at it.
Yeah,
that's sick, man. It's really important though. It's like it's interesting because it's sort of when you're in your 20s, you can get away with it more. So you're just like, why? What's the point? I'll eat Macca's every day, and even look, rest in peace. Skeevious Tips, who passed earlier this year. You were saying that he said that he ate McDonald's 3 times a day, type of thing, like for every meal. And potentially that might have contributed to his illness. Who knows? But like, it could have been because you're just eating these processed stuff, and our bodies aren't made for it. It's the equivalent of like you give dogs kibble, and there's the dyes in the kibble, and the dye comes out of their eyes, like these red shit. I don't know if you ever noticed. Basically, every dog has it. It's sort of like just crusty red stuff that comes out of his eyes. And since we've taken him off kibble, now that he hit a year, we're giving him the puppy kibble for a while. He never liked it, and now we make him whole foods, and then we mix it with this freeze-dried raw stuff, and then he fucking like demolishes every meal, and his red stuff has stopped. And we only gave him the kibble because everyone insisted, like all vets insisted, because they have, when they're puppies, it has more some specific things they need. I don't know, shit like that. But now we're like researching nutrition for him too, and making sure he has organic meat and organic fruits and vegetables and stuff. So he's not getting. We pour in water, we take it out of the Brita. Like we don't just pour it out of the tap.
With my tortoise, I only bathe them in the filtered water too, because like I can smell it when I put water out of the tap. You can smell it in in the bowl. You can smell it like in the air for a minute to let it sit if you're going to do that.
100%. So it's something that is all really thoughtful. It's like, I guess when you realize if anything happened, like when you had the hospital scare, when you don't have your health, what do you have? You literally have nothing.
That's why it's so important. That's another reminder of like everything. So yeah, I'm glad to have like a month off alcohol, a month off weed. Then that was a good reset for my body, and then so I just kind of gradually got back into things. And
have you balanced out with like your like alcohol and weed, as far as like how I do my shit? It's like have X certain days, like Sundays I don't drink and blah blah blah.
I don't have those strict days, but then some days I'll be like, I'm so fucking sick of beer, cunt, and I won't drink for 2 days, 3 days. So I will have those, but I'm it's basically consistent. Like whenever I decide to drink, no more than 6 cans, and I only get to 5, and I'm just full of bored. And so I don't even get to, and I'm talking like literally these small cans.
Short cans, yeah.
Yeah.
What about do you do like, say, to try and keep it so like, say you might get bored of beer after 15 days of drinking, like do you sort of try and like each week be like try and split it up so there's never any, like for me it's basically the maximum it should be is like 5 days on, sometimes 6 days if I've, like for example this Sunday my friend Nate, who's my co-host on BOS right now, him and I are doing a bit of a brewery. We're going to a few breweries. We're going to Willowbold, Counterpoint, and Arabella Park, because he's coming up He lives in Ottawa, so he's coming up. We're going to do a cruise. Last time he was in town, we went to Badlands. We went to Fairweather another time. So like we're doing a bit of a cruise, and it's Sunday, and I don't drink Sunday, so I'm taking another day off to offset the Sunday, so that the week doesn't go over the 5 days exactly. So like, do you do anything like that as far as like try to stop? Because that's how what you're describing is how I used to do it, but I ended up getting sick a lot because I would probably take it too far. And this way, obviously we all have to, just go whatever works for you and your body and your lifestyle, you got to go for it. But for me, the way that maybe you're describing, I didn't, whatever my problem was either I didn't stop enough, or I just did too many days in a row, or whatever, and it just didn't seem to work so well. So do you try to limit it in like a group of time or anything like that, or you don't give a fuck, it doesn't matter for you?
I try to. It's not definitely not as regimented. I don't, oversee myself that much like that. But whenever I don't feel like it, I just don't drink. And sometimes I'll go to the fridge after coming home from a ride. I'll grab one beer and I'll like have it in the shower or something like that, or as I'm getting out of the shower and getting things ready. And I'll have half of it and just go, or honestly, I'll have the first sip and go, oh, nah, not today. And I can just tell my body doesn't want it. So I will literally just pour the rest of it down the sink, and I'll go for a water, or I'll get something else. I have these electrolyte drinks that I make as well in the summertime, because like, fuck, the sun kicks your ass here.
Yeah.
It's humid as fuck. The humidity is fast, actually, not the sun. The sun's fine.
Humidity is such a bitch.
It takes all my energy. It zaps all my shit. So I have to
today
drink,
and
like,
yesterday.
lots of water.
Gotcha. Okay,
so
interesting.
So I've kind of like, I've gone for the more like consistently low number of beers when I do drink, and then whenever I have a sip and I'm like, fuck off, I go straight for the fuck off and don't drink it.
Gotcha.
Because sometimes when I push through the fuck off and I keep drinking the can, I'm like, no, and I get mad at myself because I can feel that I don't want it, and it's so weird that I've kind of got to that point. So I'm policing myself a little bit.
Okay, that's good. I mean, it's working for you, right? So it's like there's no reason to change it unless it stops working, and then you're like, all right, guess I got to try something else. So I feel that. I know what you mean about that, like when your body is just like, fuck
You can just
off.
feel it. You can taste it. It just doesn't taste right. Yeah. Sometimes when you have a beer and you really need it, or you're not, when you feel like that, I had a hard day working in the sun and you've been doing that hard yakka and shit, and you have that first sip, it's like, fuck, mate. Like whenever you heard, anybody can relate to this, whenever you heard your dad or your mum crack a tinny and they have that first sip, and it's like, it's better than the Coke. It's just the most refreshing. Yeah, the Coca-Cola. It's like the most refreshing expression after they have that first sip of beer. It's like,
nothing better.
If I don't get that, I don't really want to keep drinking beer.
I like that. I like that as well. I find that my routine allows me to sort of like, say, for example, when we were traveling, even when we were in Miami, I still stuck to my strict schedule. Like I was,
wow, good for you. Not even YOLO. I mean, I'm on fucking holiday.
Nope.
I'm in Miami.
I offset it every single time. I moved up to 5 days a week from 4, because this year I moved down to 4 days from 5 days a week drinking. Yeah. I took Sunday, Monday, Tuesday off. Now, since the trip, I was like, okay, let me drink on Tuesdays, because I'm probably going to be, I think I was maybe, if there's nothing happening, then I wouldn't drink, but I had the option to if I wanted to. And I was able to shuffle days. Like my birthday was on like a Monday or something. And on the Sunday we went to a Heat game. So I was able to offset that week. I was like, cool, I know that's going, so I'm going to take the extra day off here. And then next week I won't drink on the Tuesday and then the Wednesday instead, or whatever it is. And it never went over. And
Crazy.
Since I've been back, I've done the same thing and just been able to. And that has, fortunately, honestly, like thanks to fucking COVID, bro. Like that's the only reason I changed my schedule. Because it got too much, everyone was stuck at home and stuff, and you just felt like you could drink all the time. Breweries were getting more orders than ever, therefore they were promoting more. They were sending all of I was getting like 3-4 boxes a week from PR packs. It was insane.
I used to get a lot of photos too. That was actually
they've stopped. Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. You were on that.
It's all fucked up.
And even TIFF stuff now, everything's completely stopped. I only get stuff for podcasts now because we need it. That's it.
You haven't got anything for ages.
Yeah, no, none of us do anymore. Nothing. And TIFF
was like Spearhead.
Yeah, I think even they stopped. And all the wine companies and liquor companies don't send to TIFF really anymore either. Like it's interesting. It's all completely dropped off. But anyway, doing that had allowed me to sort of balance out the drinking. And then on the nights off now, then we got into, I think it was the end of 2020, we got into the non-alcoholic beers. Which,
yeah, you're big on those.
Yeah, dude, I fucking love them, and it's like
Find a good one, but when you find a good one, oh my god, it is so nice.
I fucking got them all, man. I can point you in all the. I mean, Bellwoods do some of the best stuff.
They do. Yeah,
They
good
are
art.
pricier though. They're as pricey as a regular beer. That's the only downside.
That's not cool. They shouldn't do that.
Well, I think it's because they were actually talking about that. I think on the
hard to make.
stories. Yeah, it's hard to make. The ingredients are basically the same, and they just the way they do it. I forgot if they said they do dealcoholization, so they make it in a normal way and then dealcoholize it somehow. Because there's other ways you can. It's called arrested fermentation, so that you just stop it when it gets to 0.5 or whatever the legal thing is. It's 0.5 or 0.05. I never remember.
Yeah.
So anyway,
0.5.
there's something like that. So they do great ones. There's this brand called Libra from Prince Edward Island. This brewery called Upstreet makes them, and Libra you can get them shipped across the country.
I've seen them on the Instagrams.
Easily the best, like leagues above everything else as far as the consistency, the pills, the stout, the fucking. They got a couple IPAs. Everything is really really great from them. Then we tried this brewery they're the biggest non-alcoholic brewery in the world called Athletic, and they're from somewhere in the States, but they have I think either they make it here or they have distro here. So they have a place in like Woodbridge, Ontario that I bought some the other day. I bought like a case and a bit. They're doing deals with like Netflix shows. It was a Pilsner that's like a Pils from, I can't remember what it is. It looks like a Game of Thrones type of label, but it's some Netflix show that I haven't watched that they've made a beer for, which is pretty dope. So their stuff is good. Is almost as good as Libra, but Libra's still the best. Collective Arts do some really good stuff too. We're supposed to go there today. We just forgot to pick up some shit, but that's been like a nice balancing fucking sitch. At least it doesn't work for everybody. It's an acquired taste. They're a little odd.
Yeah, some of them miss the mark, but yeah, once you get the fire, you have to get that.
The good stuff. So whenever you want to do it, you should definitely just let me know and I'll point you in there. I'll remind you of the good stuff. And you could also go, if you go to those bottle shops that I was telling you about. So I know we don't talk about beer too much on a fucking rap podcast. We always do it, but there's laws that passed in Ontario over the pandemic where cafes can sell alcohol like to go like in cans and bottles, so can restaurants and fucking whatever, a bunch of different places, and you can just open up a spot. So there's a bunch of those around the city. Like I go to one here in Hamilton that's fucking amazing. So there's a bunch there. So if you want to go, like we were talking about getting this brewery called Badlands that we love. I think they're basically the best in the province. You were like, oh, can you get me some? I'm like, well, the easiest way for you to get some is like I could get some from here, from my store, and bring them to you next time I'm in Toronto, no problem. But if you want to go right now, there's a bunch of stores, and you can get those non-alcoholic stuff there as well. And you can go and just get some fucking, Bandcamp's closing, so you can get some of their shit. It's it's marked up because they buy it at retail, because then just like the LCBO. Yeah. But then they only mark it up usually like $1 or $2. And to me, it's worth it because you could go and get the 2 beers you want rather than being forced to pay $10, $15, $20 in shipping and get a whole minimum $50 order or something like that. And you can walk out of there with like 12 beers and,
That's what I'm talking about. There's a place on Gerard and Parliament. Someone told me about it.
Oh, yeah?
I think Connor told me about it. It's the same thing. It's like Durand. It has the same just, resell sort of fridge. And it's along there, and I need to find it.
I'm taking a look right now.
Maybe it's Sherbourne and Gerard, but like there's something around there that resells shit. So I have to figure that out because it's actually not that far from me. It's probably like 20 minutes.
It'd be worth it. The other one, I know that would definitely be. Oh, there's a place actually that we've been. If you weren't there, there's a maybe they don't sell it though. There's a pub called House on Parliament that they had good beer. But
that's a good place. I've ordered food to go there.
Amazing. Okay. Oh, the place called the Golden Pigeon Beer Hall. They might even have shit too. But the one is called 4th and 7th.
Oh yeah, on the other side of town.
4th and 7th. It's College. Yeah, it's College and Dover Court. So it's kind of far, but it's at that one is like they're inside the it's called the Society Clubhouse. It's Society Beer Drinking Ladies, and they have a fire ass fridge, a couple of fridges with some fucking killer shit. Like that would be like the best one that I'm aware of in Toronto, but there could be others. I think it's best you just want to like check
Mm-hmm.
maybe a blog TO article or something. It'd list the different, like, the best ones, and you can just take a look and see which ones. There's another one called Bevy Bira. They're the ones who actually ship. They don't give a fuck. They'll ship anywhere. Oh, and Volo. Bevy Bira.
Get some fucking beer up here, cunt.
Anyway, there it is. It's on Dundas. Oh, that's near you. Dundas West. Oh, hang on. Dundas.
Son.
No, that's true. Hang on. Oh, Runny. Okay, maybe it's not near you by any means, actually. Dundas and Runnymede.
That's West Side. West Side to lie.
Oh, you're right. You're right. It's actually nowhere near you in any shape or form. But that's one. That one is a place that basically the same thing. You'd probably be better off going to Volo or whatever. But they've got like fire. I'm looking at some of the photos here, like Third Moon, Badlands, cool food. Oh yeah, Badman's right there in the photos on these. Are really nice photos. You know, Barn Cat, all the stuff you'd want. Anyway, we won't talk about beer anymore. Sorry, guys. We can't help it. What else has happened? Okay, so there's the fucking the fires in Quebec is still rampaging, and the fires now hit back out here again. I saw that Montreal is in the worst air in the world right now because of the fires, like, which is fucked. And then we were out today by the beach on near Burlington. So Burlington and Hamilton are connected by the beach, Lake Ontario. We did a walk up there. Found this cool water park and shit. It was dope. And it was like it smelled like a campfire. The air. It was fucking crazy. So it's about to get kind of fucked up. You sent me a link before, and it's looking like in the next, like this week, it's gonna be a little rough, eh?
A little stinky, mate. It looks like the smoke clouds are doing a bit of a U-turn and like kind of hovering.
Yeah, they are. You're so right. And all the hectic shit's gonna come around. So there's gonna be a few days. Maybe it's not. Actually, hold up.
Exercise until like Tuesday.
Yeah, till Tuesday. You're right. The 26th and 27th. So mildly concerned about that. Not the greatest. So hopefully all the Quebec mans are doing okay and shit. But and it looks like it's going out to New York still. Fuck, man, what a crazy time down in Vermont and everything. Jeez.
Pinky, I can't even see the fucking skyline from here. It's like covered in smoke. So
okay,
honestly,
so that's...
compared to when we started, because we talked about this before we went on air, I was like, I can't see this shit. It's actually a lot better. Like, it's significantly better. I can see like sharp edges now. Before I couldn't see shit.
That's good. I like
crazy.
that. I mean, like, still, hopefully, but I mean, it's good that.
Yeah,
I guess I don't know what we're supposed to do. Like, to just stay inside or some shit. Like, it's gonna come inside the house.
Stay inside. You're not. If you go outside, you're not supposed to do heavy exercise. So they're not saying don't go outside. They're just like, it's pretty bad. So don't do rigorous breathing, and
I see.
You're gonna sniff it in real quick. So I don't know. I guess it can't be amazing for you. But also, one of my mates said he went for a ride and the rain was brown.
Ew! Fuck!
On his helmet, and it stung his eyes. He said the rain stains on his helmet were brown and his eyes stung. He reckons it was like dirty rain or like possibly like acid rain.
Do you think it could have been rain that went like
not like acid rain, but you know what I mean? Like not like fucking rain. It was stingy.
So if you've got fire clouds, like the smoke going across the skyline, that's probably sitting under the rain clouds, and then the rain goes right through it and picks up all the particles and then brings them down.
Right. Yeah, that's probably what it is. So yeah, man, covered in it. So
jeez, fucking rough times.
So yeah, I'm not gonna be. I can't ride in. My knee's still bruised as fuck, but I've been icing it every day. But I'll be riding by Wednesday, I reckon.
Okay. Just keep an eye on the smoke stitch.
Motherfuckers on. So
yeah. And now you know what to do. Back on the trail, gang. Stay away from drunk fucktards.
No concrete, no people.
Nope.
Fuck off. Just trees and catch a cunt.
Just trees and catch a cunt. All right. We yapped for a hot minute on that. That was good. So, bunch of shit happened this week. We'll go through some of the stuff. There's some funny things here. There's some cool shit here. I don't know how much we want to get into it, but all of this Titanic submarine stuff all happened, like, I think after the pod, or it happened on Sunday. They left, and I think that's when they did the last Sunday. We're recording this Sunday, so the previous 7 days ago, that's when that Ocean Gate company had that submersible that went to sea with the 5 people, one of them being the CEO. I think one dude was a billionaire and his kid and a couple others. Went to see the Titanic. They've done it before, apparently. And then all week they were talking about how they were missing. They were trying to find it and blah, blah, blah. And they found they call it a debris zone and some wreckage next, like I said, it was 1,600 feet from the Titanic. So they, obviously their shit all fucked up. And it came out afterwards that the Coast Guard or the Navy or whatever heard the crush of the implosion on Sunday. So it would have happened right after they left.
Yeah.
And they would have all died immediately and not even known that it happened, because that's how, like,
Instantaneous.
quickly. Yeah, it just all of a sudden, boom, which is kind of crazy, being that they had successfully done it before. So that's kind of pretty sad. You know, a lot of like, it's fucked up, and because I guess the tickets were $250K, the internet was, you know, essentially laughing at people making jokes, which is, I get it, because anytime anyone rich fucking dies, particularly doing something stupid, then man's got jokes. Little harsh though, like, it's, you know, not the best way, but I guess that's how humans deal with shit these days. And but the sketchy part. Oh, and when you look, obviously people would have seen the videos, and they ran the thing with a $50 like PlayStation control, and they had parts from camping stores. It was just so like hood, like, it was so crazy that these people just made this fucking terrible ass fucking thing and charged mans with not even seats. They didn't even have seats. You just sit on the floor of this thing.
There was a shitter though.
And a shitter, and the only tiny little window. Like, you'd be better if it had a robot and you watched the robot on the screen.
Best seat in the house, apparently.
Yeah.
Shitter.
Yeah.
That might have been your favorite spot if you went.
Oh, mate, I would be squishing nuggies the whole time. They go, "Are you done?" Like, nah, mate, still fucking plugging away.
Just enjoying the view, mate. Just soaking up the view, eh?
Yeah, just give me 30. You know?
And everyone's like, "Hurry up, you cunt!"
Yeah, you're hogging a window, cunt.
And 6 feet away.
They're just stinking up the place, like, oh,
you dirty cunt.
Yeah, fuck, what'd you eat, right? Yeah, that would have been maybe. But the sketchy shit, really, I guess there's no point going into it. It's over. But, you know, it seemed some sort of a distraction, being that they knew about it on Sunday, and the news cycle were keeping everybody talking about it constantly all week.
Yeah,
and we saw this video. I don't know how true this is, but if it is true, it's pretty disturbing. This dude was saying during that week, see if I can get him, if I could fast forward. I can.
No, that'll be good.
Okay, here we go. To hide the news cycle. So he goes, what happened this week? Let's do a recap. So the JP Morgan and Jeffrey Epstein's emails were released, and now they have mistakenly deleted 47 million emails. That's kind of crazy if that's true. Joe Biden is undergoing an impeachment vote in the House, or at least trying. The Pentagon sent $6 billion to the Ukraine. Hunter Biden get a slap on the wrist. FBI whistleblowers are going missing. And John Durham had his congressional hearing this week. I'm not sure who that is. Oh, regarding the Russia hoax or something about that. So it seems like this...
700 refugees.
Oh, in not 700, 772 in like Greece. Is that what it was on the boat, or is it this a
boat full of
700?
There was a lot. Yeah, it was like crazy amount.
Oh, I thought it was like 70. And what happened?
No news coverage. Something happened. They I don't know.
The boat sank.
The boat sank.
Fuck, and all these 700 people.
I believe so.
Fuck, man. And where are they from?
I believe it was all...
Like Middle East or Africa? Because if it was Greece, it would have been like... Yeah, that's the only probable... If you look... Or maybe... No, because it's right in Greece. Greece is pretty close to Middle East and obviously north of Africa. I think it's...
Okay, here we go. There's Greece boat tragedy. At least 350 Pakistanis were on board.
Oh, of course. It's not
79 migrants drowned as boat carrying 700 sinks off Greek coast.
Okay.
So they didn't all die.
I didn't all die, but like...
Oh, then there's more than... Okay, so that was then. This is 2 days ago.
They probably would have found more bodies or something if...
They eventually got some Coast Guards. Okay, cool. So man's got some aid eventually. Because I remember seeing a thing saying, oh, they're not talking about these cunts. This is the image. Did you see this shit? I
did think that's the only picture I saw.
Yeah, so just lots of mans crammed on a boat like usual styles.
Yeah.
Capacity of 400 carrying over 700 cunts.
That's so crazy. And the fact they didn't talk about it. So look, you know.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of smoke and mirrors, mate.
Which is pretty constant. I mean, obviously, we're not going to get into too deep into all that here, but I don't know. At this point, I have a very healthy distrust for all systems, the media specifically. Obviously, we don't trust Big Pharma and the documentary, which, as we were talking about before, just getting shit advice and no one really gave a fuck our whole lives. And, instead of worrying about nutrition, like nobody knows about nutrition. Doctors don't know shit about that. They just know about the drugs that they get a kickback when they sell them. All that stuff. So I don't know. Definitely something weird going on. So stay awake, my guys.
Stay awake.
On a much lighter, funnier note, so we had heard some rumblings on the internet about Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg having a cage fight because they both. Well, Zuck does BJJ. I imagine Elon is some. Yeah,
what?
like
he in my eyes is the biggest pussy in the world.
No, he's like apparently pretty decent, and he
Zerks.
Well, maybe not. So this Grand Wizard, shouts to Grand Wizard, always pushing the media. Dana White, he's talking about.
Both Elon and Mark last night. Both guys are absolutely dead serious about this. They both want to do it. Mark Zuckerberg hit me up first and said, "Is he serious?" And I said, "I don't know. Let me ask him." I asked him, and he said, "Yeah, I'm dead serious. This would be the biggest fight ever in the history of the world.
Oh my God.
Bigger than anything that's ever been done. It would break all pay-per-view records. These guys would raise, hundreds of millions of dollars for charity. And, you don't have to be a fight fan to be interested in this fight. Everybody would want to see it. I was talking to both Elon.
Insane, dude.
So apparently it's going to be $100 pay-per-view, and all the money goes to charity because obviously they're both billionaires. They don't need the money.
It's unbelievable.
Isn't that crazy?
They should pick like 150 charities or 2,000 charities and just
that'd be a lot of money. Yeah,
between heaps of cunts. Don't give it to two charities. That's some bullshit.
Don't give it to Bill Gates.
Everybody.
Yes,
that's what they should do.
I bet they probably both have foundations that they might. Hopefully they. No shot for president. You got my vote, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, let's go. So it's pretty crazy.
Starts at one.
Starts at one. Exactly.
Winning.
One brick by brick.
That's a one.
That's all the fuck I'm saying. So that's pretty crazy. Obviously, if this ends up happening, it would be hilarious. I don't really understand where this came from. I'm sure there's some internet lore, like maybe they were arguing online or they were just fucking around, and maybe Elon was like, "I will kick Mark's ass" or something like that, and then, here we go. So we shall see. Very, very funny. Okay.
That's real. I just actually pictured them both in like trunks with gloves on.
Well, I wonder if it's MMA or like boxing.
Oh man, I wonder.
Because they said a cage match. It's a cage match. I don't think boxing fights are ever in a cage, right?
It's in an octagon. That's a UFC.
That's what this poster says. The words cage match.
If Dana White's talking about it, it's going to be MMA.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Because he wouldn't bother doing.
Do you reckon Elon Musk has got some skill though?
Well, okay, so I don't know, and I think that's a great question. So I'm looking at here. Someone put like the category.
Polish or some shit.
He's who? Elon? He's South African and Canadian.
South African Canadian. Wow, what an asshole I am.
So they're saying that they've got the stats. So yeah, I don't know if he's good. I know that I've seen in this post he actually has video of Mark doing BJJ with Lex Friedman, who's a podcaster and whatever. So Elon's 180 pounds, Mark is 150. Elon is worth 245 billion. Mark is worth 100 billion. So even like Mark is 30 pounds lower, so Elon would have to cut, I would imagine, for that to work. And then the rest of the stuff on that post is jokes. So if that's correct, it might be like lols and fake, but
they should just go splitsies on giving every single person in the entire world $1 million each, and they'd still have billions and billions and billions left over. It's like 8 billion cunts.
Yeah, it's possible. 8 billion cunts. So if you have $8 billion and everybody, I don't know if it would work. Everyone would get if you have $8 billion, everyone gets $1. So I don't know how many. My math is horrible. So you get 8 billion. So it's like 8 billion times a million. I'm not going to do that math. I'm not smart enough for that.
Calculators are.
Huh? Calculate. Yeah, I was trying to that, but I was like, is it? I don't know. I just don't want to get it wrong. And people are like, haha, you don't know how to do it.
I might just say it into fucking Google
there
search.
You go.
8 billion times a million?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big number.
Yeah.
It's like 8e plus 15.
There you go. So it's 8 with 15 zeros.
Right.
So I don't know if they have that much money.
They probably could figure it out, though.
They probably could figure it out, if I combine everybody. Anyway, so that'd be fun.
Aussie maths.
Aussie maths, you know the vibes.
Hey.
Okay, what else is fun? So apparently, Killer Mike dropped his album. We talked about it last week. I think it was called Michael. I still got to listen to it actually, but he had an Andre 3000 track. Yeah, it was called Michael, I believe.
Yeah,
and he had Andre 3000 on a song, which was cool. Great verse, cool song. And apparently, Killer Mike said that there's an Andre 3000 solo album coming up. And then he retracted that. Oh, guys, I was stoned out of my mind. I didn't know what the fuck's going on. Everyone was saying that, that the team would have been like, bro, are you fucking serious? Like, how did you ruin this? And then he had to try and, like, walk it back.
Damn, bro.
So, I don't know how... Sorry?
I said whoops.
Yeah, right. So, if it's true, then I guess we'll see. But, yeah, it kind of ruined the surprise. So, I think now... it's kind of fucked up, so I don't know what they're going to do. Like, imagine that, and they Andre 3000 just on a Friday just turned up and, like, new album, just post a picture of the album on his Instagram or something, then boom. If he even has Instagram. So, everyone hates Killer Mike now because he fucked that up.
Oh,
so, why would you... Yeah, which is problematic. On another tip, I discovered this podcast called The Blog Era. By these dudes called It's The Real. They're these two Jewish brothers who are like comedians, I think, and they were doing sketches and they were involved in that shit back then. So it said it's like produced by Pharrell and stuff, and they've gone and done a 10-episode podcast series. They're all about an hour each, documenting primarily Narite. I didn't know this. Narite was the first one, and then it all kind of went from there. And it's been really interesting because they're talking to Currency, Mickey Fax, Joe Budden. They didn't talk to Wale, I don't think, but they're talking about all of these artists that came out. Wiz Khalifa, Dom Kennedy, like obviously Nipsey was a part of that. Like all of these people from the blog era that have careers because of it. It's pretty fucking interesting. I'm about halfway in. I think I'm up to episode 6 or something now. Really good, man. I'd highly recommend if you just want to learn about it because we talked about it on the pod earlier on, but basically we were signed to a label called Hypnot Records, which is created by this dude, Kevin Nottingham. And he, at one stage, had probably like one of the top 5 blogs in that world as far as traffic and such. And he was, I don't think I know if it was ever his full-time job, but it must have been close. And he was really supportive of, he was the only blog that was more supportive of like people who didn't, like we didn't have any connections. He just posted music that he liked. So he was like, we met a lot of people through that, and he was really, helpful to us and influential in that kind of world. So I was extra interested just to hear how it happened because I don't know, we came into it, I don't know, 08 or some shit around the MySpace time, 07 maybe. Like maybe it been earlier. Maybe we were trying to get.
This was the first mixtapes that came out.
I think yours came out 06. The Cee and Becca was 07. So we must have done some sort of blog sort of push back then. I think I can't remember when we really like proactively discovered it and we're really trying to like work the blogs a bit.
After we started releasing
we weren't on there from the rip, and they were all like, we were on like, for example, there was a website I used to write for called groovon.com.au, and there's a forum on there, and I met so many people, like our good friend Tommy Guns. Shouts to Tommy. He was part of the crew, one of our good friends forever. We met him through the forum.
BFF.
So they had exactly BFAM. And he, like, mad people all connected through that. And it was just, like, walking you through that history. And it's really interesting. So if you have any sort of familiarity with that, I would highly recommend that pod. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, those are good days, the old Groove On days. He used to fucking review so much sick music. He used to fucking let me listen to the tapes or CDs afterwards. And fucking, I used to sit in the background when you fucking interviewed mad cunts and you were recording it while you were speaking on them so you could, like, transcribe it later like a funny kind
mini cassette, on the speakerphone.
Mode. That shit was funny as fuck.
That was, and I was getting $25 an article for when I was on that shit. All that work, had to pay for the international phone call. Fucking, I was just happy. I was just a fan, happy to talk to him. There's so much work because then you got to transcribe the entire tape. Then I got to print out the transcription and then highlight all the sections that I want to use and then put that into prose because I didn't do question and answer articles. I did like, so exhibits, had been working with Dre since then. Then it goes into the quote, me and Dre met, blah, blah, blah. Like you have to write it like that. And it's like it's a whole, like, it's like doing an assignment for university type shit.
100%.
So fortunately, university, I was in uni when I was doing that. So I was just basically doing homework all the time. Good times though. You know, I enjoyed that shit. So that is super cool. New shit. Drake announced a new album with a poetry book. The album is called For All the Dogs, and it's got these cute little puppies like hugging each other on it. And the poetry book is called Titles Ruin Everything. A stream of consciousness by what's the guy's name? By Olga Graham and Kenza Samir, and I think it's some Moroccan dude who he's worked with before on some stuff. I don't know if he works on music, I forgot, or whatever. So they've put like a poetry thing. You can buy it off his website. It's like $20. So I was thinking of just buying it just to have it. It might be cool.
Sweet.
And then you got the album. So I don't know when. They never said dates, but soon come, as they say.
Soon commas.
Sounds fun. Little drizzy.
I mean,
so
it'll sell like hotcakes. I mean, should be sweet.
You know,
Fuck.
can't go wrong with a bit of drizzly album. Get some poetry. Yep.
Great.
Young Thug dropped his new album on Friday called, I think it's called Business is Business or something.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Yeah, I've been I listened to it today. There's 2 Drake features on there. It gets a little tired because I don't know. I don't love that style, that kind of mumbly, like it's pretty one-dimensional, but it was fun. Drake killed it. I enjoyed his parts. Did you check that one out at all?
Did not yet. I'm not a huge Thug fan, so I don't know.
Same.
Haven't come across it yet. I'll give you my thoughts next week for sure.
Okay, I respect it.
Yeah.
2 other cool new things dropped. Stormzy dropped a new video for a song called Toxic Trait with this guy Frito. Fucking bangs. It is back to the old Storms. The produced by Dave Santan, and Dave is amazing. It's just clever. The beat is just like a bass heavy trap banger.
Trap.
Yeah, it's flows
really
are
nice.
sick. I don't know, man. It was cool. That's what Stormzy's sick. So the last album, we talked about it last week. His album was like bit on the soft R&B side, which is not what people necessarily expect from him. And then now, he's back.
Very introspective album on the last one. Very heartfelt, heart on my sleeve. Which is, I thought it was good, man. Because like I told you, I saw that sit down with Rick Rubin where he explains it and has like a listen through.
That's different.
It really helps, kind of like, because he's giving you the story. Yeah, context behind the story of the track. Because sometimes he's like obscure with it and he doesn't say exactly what's going on. But watching that really helped me like the album a lot. So you guys are calling it Pussy Hole, and I'm like, honestly, it reminds me of My Heart on My Sleeve album, but like with crazier production and lots more singing. He's also rapping, a bit,
but just not.
Anyway, just that reminds me of my like soft shit where I'm trying to get introspective and kind of vulnerable and stuff. And it's nice. I like that kind of shit because he's always a hard cunt. So it's nice to do the soft album, come back and be a sick cunt. Let's go.
Okay, I like that. I respect that.
It's kind of like
now you put it like that. That makes me want to go watch that interview and just kind of
really helps.
See what the fuck he's talking about. Okay, that's sick.
Because I heard 1 or 2 tracks and then I watched the interview and then I listened to the whole album. I'm like, oh, that's great. Because on the interview, you get like, 10 or 30 seconds of a song and then they talk.
So they don't play the whole thing. Okay.
No, but they go like, they might play one verse for like 30 seconds or a snippet, but then they talk. It's really, it's good.
Okay, so I should give it another chance then. Because I think I listened to it once. I'm like, and that's it.
Fair enough. Yeah.
And then another cool video that dropped this week was from Lil Simz, who is another British rapper, if you don't know. Do you remember the name of the song?
Dragon? Gorilla.
Yeah, Gorilla, something like that, yes. Because Tiff sent it to me as well. So Tiff was playing it. I woke up and she was just playing it, and I was like, why are you listening to Lil... Like, she'd never even heard of it before.
Okay.
Which was... I'm trying to see if she sent
they
it
used
to
the
me.
same Pharoah Monch sample. It was like a slight rendition.
Okay. Which is cool.
And then the
Cool
video
flows.
is super tight though, man. Her bars are drippy. She's talking big things again. Like the video is really awesome. Like I felt like it had like really authentic themes and like just showing how like down for the art form and just the culture she is. Like she's doing a coffin skateboard move down the car park ramp. Like she's on the skateboard laying down,
and rapping to the camera.
That's a coffin. Yeah, that's a coffin. That's a classic old school 80s skateboard move that me and you literally did on the streets at Selby and the streets in French Gully and
Rowville.
Broville as well. Yeah, that's honestly fucking hilarious. It's got Missy fashion vibes. There's so many British references in all of her bars. It's very, very good. There's a lot of gospel too in the breakdowns and shit. It's fucking hell.
Killer.
She's really fuck, I don't know. She's ahead of her shit. Like I was talking to Tiff about this, and she was saying like, she's given her a little Kendrick vibes with the video and all the scenes and the camera movements. And when I said, it's got Missy fashion sort of vibes, and she's like, yes, it's like new era Missy, because the outfits are kind of like kind of futuristic, but they're all like kind of fitted and like puffy. It was kind of shiny and gave me Missy vibes. So on a first watch and listen, that is super impactful. So it's worth like 2, 3, 4, 5 watches, because there's super crazy bars, the beat's crazy, and the video has so much packed into it. So I don't know who did the direction and everything else, but there's a big team behind that. Super effort, and I think it's fucking amazing.
Fuck yeah. So 2 British bangers to check out from this week. Very dope. The last thing we have here on this list is the Jim Jones and Pusha T beef, which is fun. So do you know what happened? Because I can tell what I know, and they can maybe fill in the gas pause. But okay, so the best that I know about it was, I know. Okay, so maybe a month ago, 2 months ago, Jim Jones was on the Breakfast Club, and he was like talking to Charlemagne, Envy, and they were like, he's like, Pusha T is not in any top 50 ever. He's like, name 5 Pusha T songs, and then Envy was like, my name is my name, blah blah blah. He's like mentioning all the songs. He's like, okay, fuck it, Charlemagne, mention Pusha T songs. See, you can't, like, Charlemagne couldn't. So Jim Jones, he goes, look, I love Pusha T, but there's no way. He goes, nobody in the streets comes up and wants to be like him. Like, this is what he was saying. He's like, like, it's not, he's not like that. He's not influential like that. And then that went sort of viral a little bit. People were talking about it. It seemed out of pocket. Pusha T's in my top 10. And I thought that was a pretty ridiculous take. I like Jim Jones, but I think like Pusha's got much more influential music. Like Diplomat's obviously fucking some of the goats as a group, but like, most of them had some hits or whatever. They all got some joints, but overall, Jim Jones's music, I'm not listening to Jim Jones like at all. I would listen to Jewels or some Cameron or whatever, but like that's kind of it. So then, if there was some sort of like, I'm gonna say it's the wrong thing, but say it's like Paris Fashion Week, something like that, and apparently Clips are getting back together. So Malice and Pusha doing an album, and they played this track over fucking one of the, what is it called? Catwalk. I want to say boardwalk, idiot. And putting, Council Walking, and he played this song. They played this new Clip song, and he fucking was dissing. Like, there was a bunch of lines in there that everyone took that. He didn't say the names,
Right.
Yeah, just, he's always dissing Drake beforehand. Now he was dissing Jim Jones, they were saying. And then that night when that clip dropped, Jim Jones just posted a video of him in like what looked like the back of some sort of like car with all different colorful lights and stuff, just laughing for like 20 seconds. All he did was laugh. He didn't say anything. And then a clip dropped of Jim Jones doing a music video for a diss song for Pusha. And it had maybe 20 seconds of it, and you could tell it was just from behind. You could hear the music, kind of. You could see him rapping at a microphone and kind of fucking up the words here and there, because obviously they would use clips of it. For people who haven't actually done a music video or seen what it's like, it's very weird. It's not what you think. They use a series of tiny clips, and most of the time you're making mistakes and fucking around and whatever. It's kind of hectic. So anyway, that's going to be interesting. So that I imagine maybe this coming week there'll be a video and a song of Jim Jones dissing Pusha. Another battle. Haven't been like, when's the last time we had one of those battles? Like, how it was like Drake and Meek and blah blah blah. When's the last
like a big scale beef? It's I guess I want to hear some shots, as in tracks. Hear some actual tracks.
But when's the last time we had ones that delivered diss songs? Obviously 2015 or 16 was back to back and Charged Up, and like the Drake and Meek. That was fun because it was like Drake.
That was pretty crazy.
But like,
relentless.
That was, but there's obviously been some since then. I just having a complete blank because I guess none were as culturally impactful as that.
Yeah.
Drake and Pusha, kind of, but there were subs. They weren't full songs. Like Infrared, I think Pusha started again off Daytona, whereas, the very first line was started it. Like the whole song was basically about him. Drake did some. Although then they did the added on. Sorry, that was even Drake's always involved in them. That's what it was when he did the "You're Hiding a Child" shit. When was that? Was that during the pandemic or pre?
During?
Dude, we have no idea what time. Time is just a fucking figment of our imagination.
No fucking idea. You can't.
Let's see if I can put. Oh, what was it? It was called Added On. Pusha T added the story of Added. Let's put Added On. It should come up, and hopefully just tell us the year. 2018, released May 29th, 2018. Wow. So that means it was around then. Drake did that Duppy freestyle and blah blah blah. So I think Pusha did. Yeah, Pusha did Infrared. Then Drake did that Duppy freestyle. Then he came back with Added On. Then apparently Drake was going to come back with something, and Jay Prince talked him out of it. That's what it was. So if there was anything since 2018, I don't remember.
Nothing notable.
At least like mini little scuffles. But this is still obviously not the same echelon as that. But Push still gets in beef. He's an aggressive young man. I don't think he's one to fuck with. He's an A1 lyricist, and I fuck with Pusha hard. He's great. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens there. I don't know how man's be beefing. Was there anything else that we wanted to touch on? Oh, we did have this one last thing. Okay, we can wrap you up here. Perfect. Last week we were talking about how whack "Keep the Heads Ringing" from Dr. Dre was.
Oh my god, yeah.
I was talking. I don't want to put that on you. I'm sorry. And a bunch of people, I use that as the clip. Our friend Tommy Guns we were talking about was saying that, he knows that it was corny. Like, basically, it was echoed that everyone's very aware of how corny it was, but it still slaps because his delivery's dope and the beat bangs. Another homie, this guy Dubious in Alberta, I was on his show after the smoke is clear. He said that he did this DJ mix, and he put like a Christmas song over the "Keep the Heads Ringing" thing because it's got all the bells in it, and it slapped. Like it worked so well. It was very. He goes, it has no business working as well as it does.
So, yeah, I heard that shit. That's ridiculous.
And then he sent me the link, and I checked the link. I was like, oh shit, this is great. So then we just get into the conversation of like songs. We can just wrap up on this, like songs that are in your head when you wake up. So I've had that a lot. I have a problem. I think I said I wake up, take a piss, I have trouble getting back to sleep, and then all of a sudden these random ass fucking songs pop in my head. So the ones from this week, for some reason, these are just the ones I could think of. For now.
You have like a carousel of songs.
It's always different.
Like a what do you call it? A revolver clip.
Basically,
there's like 8 of them.
Russian roulette. Well, this week is only Keep the Heads Ringing. I wrote down here, but it wasn't in my head this week. One thing that's been in my head, so I think I mentioned, I always get, this is why I'm curious to hear what you have to say. I always get my own verses in my head, especially when I've just written them, because using those creative things.
Took you to write it, then you recorded it fucking a couple times, like you've
listened to it over and over, blah blah blah. Remember the song we did with Mad Hatter called "Break Ground"? I don't know. I used to use my verse for that when we did
2018.
Yeah, that was no, that would have been 2013, 14 because we used to perform it. I remember when we used to do a set, we would have 2 or 3 songs, then we'd have a mixtape song, like a beat, like a popular song, and we'd rap over that, and we'd go down in the crowd, then we'd come back up and do 2 or 3 more songs. That was like our set.
Shit, you're right.
We used to do the main one we used to do was High Power from Kendrick, produced by J. Cole, and I would always have this verse I wrote in like 2007 that just worked really well with it. And then we used to use Lights Please was another one, and I used to rap my verse from Break Ground over Lights Please. I remember Mad Hatter, we did that song because I was promoting, like, hey, if anyone wants to pay us to do a verse, because we were doing that. We still do that now, I guess, but back then, and he was like, oh, I'll buy a verse from you guys. So we did, and he was like, make it clean for this song because he was putting out a clean album or whatever. Yeah, that verse has been in my head, and I didn't remember all the words, so keep going in this loop, or you bring in bars from something else, and it was all like, then you get annoyed, then it won't go away, because if you can't close the loop and finish the verse, it keeps starting again, because you're like, oh, that wasn't it, and blah, blah, blah. Like, so that one, and the other one that was in my head this week was Formation from Beyonce. Which
What?
Is pretty random. Yeah, pretty
Dude!
Did you write down? Because you said we should talk about it. So as soon as you did, I took notes that what happened this week.
So many, dude. Like I've written a few down, but I can keep talking about all the ones over the time. But like okay, so
maybe we should do it every week, and we should just almost like, hey, what songs were in your head this week? I like that.
Pick rapid fire answers. Like this is it, and have a laugh and move on.
Yeah, have a laugh. That's ridiculous. Why? Who knows? Keep talking. I like that.
So all of mine are like big R&B songs from the 90s. It's so fucking weird.
That's good.
Okay, so like the ones that I've written down that I can remember for now, and also one of them's a curveball, so I'll do that in the middle somewhere. Okay. So one of the big ones that it's happened for the last, I'd say, in the whole time in Canada, it used to happen all the time when I used to work at a retail store, like at the hat store and that. Monica, one of them days, just one of them days.
Ah, don't take it personal. Yes.
Oh, I had to take it personal.
Yes.
Oh, wow, fuck.
Well, do you know what it was? It was called "Don't Take It Personal," and in brackets, just one of them days.
Just one of them days. That's
which is an absurdly long title.
Super. I bought the fucking
CD single.
Yeah,
I remember that.
That one's all up in my. I love Monica. She's fire still.
You bought the album too, I think.
Yeah, and I just love her off, and also Brandy and Monica. The Boy Is Mine.
That way. Oh, that's so annoying if that's in your head.
And just the end part when they're like ad-libbing back and forth.
Not yours, but mine. That part. Yeah,
exactly. And then DuckTales theme song.
No, because that was come up in a post that we had in the group chats. Yeah.
So that's I love that so much.
The bass line slaps.
That one comes out at wall. Have you seen the band? It's like full like swaggy band.
Really? That's cool.
Dude, it's out of control. And En Vogue, Don't Let Go.
Oh, that's so annoying to me too. I have so many. I got specific memories attached to that song that not mildly traumatic with a girl when I was like 14. So like I hate that song. But yeah, okay.
Oh, also Brandy and Kanye. Something about they don't want our love. They don't like it. If you're the more they talk about our love, the more they talk about our love.
I know when I hear it.
Okay. Yeah, that one. That fucks me up. The lyrics. So I just do the fonts.
And then you have random lyrics popping in. You're trying to piece it together.
Starting in my head like an asshole, and then
you never get back to sleep.
Then I'm getting up. Okay, fine. Make a cup of tea.
Yeah.
So they're my top. I guess I've written 4 down, but there's so many that just pop in. Like some of the piss off ones, I don't even want to mention them because I don't even want to get them. I don't want to fuck.
Because if you say it, and you're gonna fuck your shit next week.
Over. Like so, those ones will be okay. So yeah, Monica and Brandy, DuckTales theme song, and Vogue.
Okay, that's a good week. I think we should make this a fun thing we do after the catch up.
I'll do my
each
best.
Episode, and we'll
write it down during the week if I remember.
Yeah. Oh, what I'm going to do, I'll add it to the Yeah, we're gonna do the best to remember, but I'll add it to the top of our notes. So it'd be like under the episode, it'd be like catch up, and then the songs in your head, and I'll just make it a permanent thing every week because it's an easy thing to.
Your head.
Yeah, because you know what? It'd be funny to talk about it because obviously it's something you don't talk about. You just
I never talk about it.
No,
and it might be like some classical shit. Because I remember one time I used to drive in traffic to a call center job, and I remember, I swear to God, even if there was music on or the radio on, I would have like some Mozart or Beethoven. I forget. It's Beethoven, and I would have it in my head for some reason, and I'd be like, should I sample it or why is it in my head? It used to piss me off. Because I wouldn't get away. Even though I had bangs with it, just didn't get away for like months.
It's never fun. Songs in your head is rarely a good thing. And sometimes listening to it makes it worse and doesn't close it up. Because sometimes if it does, I'll be like, I just need to put this fucking song on and then I can shut up. But it doesn't always work.
Another one.
See. Yeah.
One that used to happen. You know, the Aussie artist Diesel is a rocker.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever his main single was, that one. And it has bars. I want to sample it, make a fire beat, but Diesel. Now that I wouldn't mind to have that back in my head. That would be cool because it's pretty swaggy, and it's in my vocal range that I could actually sing it good enough if I'm in the bathroom and it's got that echo. You know how cunts can
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, oh yeah, that bathroom
so
echo.
that one, it really makes and breaks the performance. But yeah, Diesel. What the fuck is the song name? But it's really good. It's a classic.
I don't even know if he's on.
Shit.
Yeah,
He might be on YouTube. He probably wouldn't be on the spots.
I'm checking on Spotify. How that's him? Oh, because he looks so different now. Because he's got a shaved head. He looks scary with the shaved head.
Oh,
he's still got Never Miss Your Water. No, Come to Me, Tip of My Tongue.
Tip of my tongue, right on the tip of my tongue. That's the one.
Oh, I remember that joint. Yeah, that's his big song. That's got 30 million.
There you go. So that's what I want to sample that, make a beat out of it.
I remember this album from 1992. We had this. You had it, and Hep Fidelity.
Yeah.
Wow. That is such a throwback.
Mosh Dog. See? Hashtag old rocker.
Yeah. I might even listen to this. There's only 10 songs, 11 songs, so I'd probably even check that out. Just
send me the link. I'm keen as
Spotify.
Being on the pod.
You cool with Spotify?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Copy album link. I'll text it to you now. So
this is on the spots.
Yeah, listen on spots. Nice and easy. Well, that was a good episode. Shout outs to Dan. He'll be back. He might not be back next week, but I'm still down for the pod, even though I'm going to breweries with my friend. Yeah.
Not here.
No, exactly. He gets a kick in the dick. I might be lit next week, so it might be fun. No, not might be lit. I will be lit, and I'll keep drinking when I'm home. I'm going to do it up because I'm allowing for it as we discussed. So this was a good one. Let's do the thumbnail, and we'll wrap this little fucking. What shoe am I going to get today, Nosh? What shoe? Let's do a 380. There we go. 380. I wish I was. Ready? Boom. Alrighty. Nosh, where can everyone find you online? Mate?
At Notion Baby, at Notion Baby on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. At Notion MTB on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok. illnotestudios.com, notionbeats.com. At Illnote Studios on Instagram. Fuck, get a dog up. Yeah, I'm out here. See if easy.
Boom. CWFOR on Instagram and Twitter. CWTMF on Facebook and TikTok. If you fucking legends enjoyed the episode, mate, smash the thumbs up. Hit subscribe below. Hit that notification bell, Notion.
Ding.
Ooh, that was a good one. So you know when all the new episodes drop. Follow us everywhere at The Movement Fam and at Bad Habits Pod on IG. We drop every Monday, morning for audio, evening for the video. Give us a 5 stars if you can out there. Spotify and Apple Podcasts. The charts, we've still been charting. What was the country? It was Mozambique, I think, was one of the countries. Wasn't it?
That is sick.
It's the most random ass shit every week. I love it. I keep all the emails because I'm like, it's crazy. Here we go. Yeah, in Brazil. Oh no, this week. Fuck, it's even weirder. So we're in the so it depends. We were top 20 in the Ukraine for music commentary. Angola also for music commentary, and Brazil this week.
That is unbelievable.
So we're number 20. So right now it says we were 30, number 30, but down 10 spots.
I don't know how many.
I think they do like a top 200 or something. But the thing is, it could have gone higher, and it was just more like, I don't know how these emails work. Like, I'd have to probably go into the actual like fucking back end and figure it out. But because Spotify bought Chartable, so I thought the information would get better. But either way, shouts to y'all, man. It's the most random like countries that we have no connection to listening to the pod, which is the coolest shit. Because I didn't even know if people in those countries were listening to the music. Maybe they are, but shouts to y'all.
Crazy, yeah, absolutely massive. Thank you and shouts.
Yes, man, fucking legends. And on that note, we'll see you fucking sick cunts in the next one. Get a dog up, yo. Stay healthy. 2 dogs.
Drink water, eat your veggies, exercise, get some sunshine.
100%. No forest fire. Stay away. No smoke, cunt. Oh, look at that. That's just eagling, mate. Just, ski pole and notions. Hey.
Happy Pride.
Next one will be in July. Happy Pride.
Catch you.